Of course, the Italians. Come. As you know, it's only a question of time. On the other hand, I hope to be speaking with people who have a basic understanding of this argument. Here. Tom, how are we going with the perspiration?
Ready, Professor.
Now, good. How about a smell? Is that a human odor or an animal odor? To speak more clearly, is the pH acid or alkaline? Naturally, it's acid. Answer, as a matter of fact, 1 square centimeter of this skin has twice the number of sweat glands as this skin. And you do not need a microscope to see the limited cranial capacity and the vile wool that covers it, this low forehead, or the eyes completely lacking in any blue pigment, or the animal-like nose with its dirty wide nostrils and the abnormally strong teeth and this almost Neanderthal jaw are all characteristics of a subhuman race, a race far inferior to our own, a race that is but another example of nature's innumerable attempts to obtain perfection. Nature loves perfection. The perfection of the European Homo sapiens, the white race, us.
Excuse us, Professor, but aren't you Jewish?
Yes, but why? Let's imagine we want to rid ourselves of them. You wouldn't have to use atrocious methods like gas or deportation. It would suffice simply not to cure the diseases which infest the specimens here in this laboratory. Remember, and I've written this, a healthy Negro is a good slave, and a bad slave is a sick Negro. For example, look at them. Their disease is drapetomania, or the mania to escape. They think only of escape, but not out of an idea of freedom which is understandable in a human. The Negro doesn't have these sentiments. If he escapes only because he is sick. Now here is a perfect example of cachexia africana, or dirt eating.
What do they do, bite?
Oh, no. This is not a muzzle. No. It's simply to keep them from devouring every sort of refuse, including their own excrement and dirt. It's a form of unconscious suicide brought on by a lack of some substance of which we know nothing. There you are, little bird. There you are. Oh, boy. And look how far they'll go. Their fear of work and their laziness are such that they've succeeded in outwitting their masters. Now, what do you think of that? Look at these sly foxes. They willingly lose arms, legs, hands, and feet. See how they abuse themselves to get out of work. Then, of course, their masters have to take care of them. Come along.
But how could they possibly mutilate themselves to this extent?
Didn't I tell you? They gave themselves superficial wounds to avoid work. But then they got gangrene, and arms and legs had to be amputated in order to save their lives.
What are they doing here? They're Indians.
This is one of my many unsuccessful experiments. You see, with Indians, there's absolutely nothing to be done. There's the same difference between a Negro and an Indian as there is between a dog and a coyote. You can put a dog on a leash, beat him, and he'll always be there to lick your feet. Take away a coyote's liberty, and you've cut off his heir. An Indian will never be a slave. No one has ever been able to make them reproduce in captivity. They do not eat, they do not talk, they do not sleep, they do not make love. On the other hand, these people exaggerate. The Negro boasts of an enormous member, not realizing that this is the result of still another disease, which is Eromania elephantina sudanensis. Oh, by the way, I invented this. It's to keep them away from their genitals so they can play with themselves. They have such enormous sexual activity, both fornication and sodomy, that they very, very soon in life, right from infancy, start to develop something that is quite remarkable, a very enormous penis, which causes lack of potency. Naturally, all of this is a great impediment to reproduction. Look at them, these extraordinary creatures, neither man nor beast, that ask to be part of our world. They're as old a race as we, and yet until yesterday they'd never seen a wheel. And their future, they have no future, as they have no past. Tomorrow, as today, slavery will be their only possible privilege. What could they ever do if they don't live in the reflections of our glory and profit by the crumbs from our well-laden table?